Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
London goes 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug him. Lord Boys goes 1975.
Hey YouTube, Longboys Post 1975, and welcome to another Fat Friday video. Series of videos where I take a look at some of the more interesting things you can find to eat in the high street. I've gone posh, I've gone as high end as you can go with frozen supermarket food, I should say. I do remember when I paid, because I paid with cash and the change I got, I thought, wow, that was... well, at least one of these items was quite a bit pricey. But for once, I have kept my receipt. So we will check into that when we explain what it is I've got to eat this week. Do you know, I'm 4 weeks away from having done this series of videos for 100 videos. I think I've, during that time, missed 3 weeks. But 100 videos is pretty much 2 years. I've never been or managed to do a series, stick to a series of regular videos to this length before. But having said that, when this is genuinely your, spoil me food day, where you're allowed to eat whatever you want, and more often than not, it is tasty and delicious food, I'm not gonna lie, it was quite easy to stick to this series of videos. So if I don't know, should I do a special? Should I do 100? Video Fat Friday special, see if I can find something intensely hot. I don't know, suggestions, because this is also, while I've stuck to this religiously for the best part of 2 years, this is my most disliked series of videos. But the more people dislike it, the more I say, fuck it, I like eating food, I will continue to do this video. Interesting things that have happened to me this week. Anyone else out there got an Xbox Series X or S? I did not know this was a thing, but I suffered the black screen of death the other day. It was Wednesday, in fact, and if you're like me, you probably think the minute something goes wrong, which is you start thinking worst case scenario, which is, oh God, I'm going to have to send this back to Microsoft. It's going to cost a fortune. They're going to have it for 4 to 6 weeks. And then you only sort of, calm down and just think, no, relax, just treat this like, an adult. Let's solve this with our friend Tinterwebs. You find out that a million other people have suffered from this, because I did not know this was a thing. But because I have, the decent high-end HD lead, well, the one that came with my Series S, plugged into my TV, my gaming monitor, if you will. If you unplug it and then, no, sorry, it was my TV, because I think that's what caused this problem. If you unplug it, because I'm lazy, I shouldn't do this, but I unplug out the console, then plug it into something else. In this case, it was my C64 Mini, so I could capture a video and stuff like that, and then move it around various other consoles. Well, this has never happened before. I unplugged it, turned it onto Commodore, plugged it into the Commodore, recorded a gameplay video, plugged it back into my Series S, and went to continue watching the YouTube video that I was watching. And the screen was black. Completely black, but the console light was on and the pad light was on, and so I'm like, what? Like that, plugged it back in, unplugged it, plugged it back in, plugged the the console end of the lead back into another console, not the Commodore 64 Mini, and that worked fine. And that's when my brain just went, oh shizer, and I fucked up my Series S. I had a quick look online, and so a million messages came up when I googled it, which is, has anyone else had the blacks? That's probably too strong a descriptive term, but I guess they just called it that because of the red circle of death or whatever it was, red light of doom. And a bunch of people said, yeah, I got this weird thing and it's like this, and and someone said, oh, that's easy, it's to do with the fact that your dashboard is in SDR, but your games and media are in HDR. This is what I understand. So jumping between the both of them like that sometimes confuses the Xbox, and you just press your button for 2 seconds, then you press A and it comes back. It didn't. Then someone right at the bottom, because the person who made this video said, he never responded to any of the comments with a bunch of people saying, this isn't working, One bloke at the bottom just says, factory reset your telly. I'm like, really? So I factory reset my telly, and it fixed it. So no big problem or anything like that, but I just thought I'd put it in this video because if you have had it and haven't fixed it, factory reset your telly. But second of all, it's like, really, Microsoft, you learned nothing. You learned nothing. We still have a bug in your system, but never mind. I just thought I'd tell you that because that was an interesting thing that happened to me this week, and this is the only vlog I do at the moment. As I've said before, I still have a bunch of tech I need to review. I'm just being a bit lazy, to be fair. Anyway, what do I have to eat this week from the high streets? Now, a couple of weeks ago, you're sure that I saw, I'm not Sean Connery, that from the Chiquito range, I had their burrito bowl, which was hot and tasty and delicious and absolutely fantastic, and I would recommend it. Weeks before that, I had their piri piri oven cooked chips, which were fantastic, amongst the best chips I have ever had. And then going way back before that, I had their habanero chicken wings. Chiquito is a Tex-Mex chain of restaurants started in 1989 in this country. I'm sure they exist in other countries, and Iceland have a range of their products. So I bought today the Chiquito Piri Piri half chicken, slow cooked. Got to read the ingredients, haven't I? So let's just get this out of the way. Slow cooked half roast chicken in a piri piri marinade with a sachet, if you will, piri piri sauce. When it says half roast, it doesn't mean they've half roasted it and half fried it or half other way of cooking it. It means it is a half chicken in a box. So I've been wanting to try this for ages. I was a bit put off because I was under the impression that you had to defrost this for 24 hours in your fridge, which I could do, no big deal, but we have a tiny fridge and my fridge is rammed full of stuff, including basically as many cans of diet lemonade as I can get into there, because now it's getting warmer. I can't use my front porch or conservatory as a backup fridge, and I like my beverages to be cold. But I don't know what it was. I picked it up today and read the cooking instructions, and it turns out that you can cook it from frozen. So I thought, screw it, I'm going to get on that, absolutely get on that. I do like half chickens. Ages and ages ago in this series of videos, possibly last year, I don't want to say possibly, I tried from Farm Foods their peri peri frozen half chicken in a box, and I forget what chips it was with it. I think it may have been Alice's beef dripping chips, and it was all because I'd been to Nando's for the first time ever. I know, I made it into my 40s and I'd never been to Nando's, and I thought, can you kind of make a version of that at home that is as good as Nando's? And obviously the way it's cooked, probably not, but I was very pleasantly surprised with how nice that meal turned out. That chicken, half chicken in a box, however, it's Farm Foods, you would expect that, was £2. This one, because I went to the ranch, and the ranch, some ranch stores now have, they're like a Home Depot kind of other like type of B&M store for those of you who've never been there, but some of them have little Iceland sections in them. Piri piri half chicken, holy shitballs, that was £6. I'm pretty sure I can go to the chilled section of most supermarkets and buy a whole chicken, possibly marinated, for a lot less than that. However, I guess it's because we're paying for this name here, and I guess it's some sort of secret recipe or specific recipe that they use on their chickens. If they are a Tex-Mex, I'm pretty sure that this probably half a chicken is something that they do serve in their restaurants. But £6. Ooh, before I look at the other products, let's have a look at the ingredients. Chicken, half, 89%. How do you only have 89% of half a chicken? Assuming that a whole chicken, therefore, would be 200%. If you see my train of thinking. I don't know. I don't get this percentage thing anymore. I was educated at school that percentage only goes up to 100. But what do I know? That was fractions and shit. Then salt, stabilizer. Trifosphate, I've never heard of that one. Piri piri sauce sachet, 6%. Well, that's not really an ingredient in the chicken as such. Water, glucose, syrup, salt, white vinegar. I'm not seeing, good to know that there is an extra sauce sachet, but I'm not seeing a bunch of hot ingredients yet. Glucose syrup, modified maize starch, concentrated lemon juice, Ooh. Modified maize starch. Why is modified maize starch in two places? Red chili, dried onion, red chili. It's all the way down there. I'm guessing the sachet then. Well, we'll find out when we open it. Is where it, the good stuff lives. Yeah. So red chili, dried onions, plain caramel, paprika extract, ground chili powder. Capsium extract, preservative, potassium. There's a lot of shit in here, but that's where the hot ingredients end. And it doesn't. I mean, there's chili, and there's paprika, and there's ground chili in there, but that in itself does not seem like a lot. Right, it's 820 grams, by the way, in case anyone was curious. And you see, it is quite heavy, but then it's frozen. But it does not tell me what's in the does not tell me what's in the sauce. That's a bit irritating. Let's have a look at the cooking instructions. They are going to take a time. I'm a little bit worried about how long because I'm fucking starving. So oven from frozen. Apparently it's 45 minutes and then you remove it from the oven and take foil off it, and then it's another 15 to 20 minutes if it's cooked from defrost. So, well, 65 minutes then, basically an hour and 5 minutes. Oven from frozen, preheat oven for 180 degrees Celsius, for we cannot for the Fahrenheit. Gas mark 6. Remove from all packaging. Place sauce sachet to one side. Place chicken in an oven-proof dish, wing side up. Why would you cook it any other way? That's a bit of a no-brainer. Loosely cover with foil. Cook near the middle of the oven for 1 hour. 1 hour into the cooking time, remove foil, return to the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. Place sachet if you will, in unopened into a bowl of boiling water. Transfer the chicken onto a plate. Pour contents of sachet over chicken and leave to stand for 5 minutes. So an hour and a half, and I am absolutely ravenous, and I could have been into this a lot sooner had I not felt the need to tell you about my Xbox black screen of death. But ho hum, we live, we learn. Excuse me. And I haven't even eaten yet, in my pursuit of, they do feel chunky and coated, the best crisp chip I can find. I saw these in Iceland, and they are luxury Maris Piper chunky oven chips, made using British Maris Piper potatoes, prepared in sunflower oil, 1.5 grams. But look at them. They look, and I can confirm, feel very, very chunky. So I thought I'd bag these and give these a go, because I've pretty much exhausted all the chips that I have in, without dipping into the cheaper end. I don't want to just buy plain unseasoned chips and stuff like that. I want to go for stuff that's a bit more, I don't know, upmarket or interesting or flavoured or something along those lines, if you know what I mean. Because it always tastes fantastic when you get them in a restaurant. And we've gone the half chicken and nice chip route again. I want to try and get, something a bit more special, if you will. And I guess this luxury would be Iceland's equivalent of extra special at Asda, and Sainsbury's equivalent, whatever fucking Sainsbury's super whammy brand is. All supermarkets have one. Right, ingredients. Potato, 89%. Sunflower oil, wheat again, starch. Rice flour, that's a new one. Salt, yeast extract, Marmite. Yeah, raising agents, dysphosphates, sodium carbonates, blah, 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 blah. I didn't read the fat out on that. We'll read the fat out on that. Basically bog standard chips, but extra chunky. 35 mins at 200 degrees Celsius, or 35 mins, 8 gas mark, 7 preheat oven. Remove packaging, place in a single layer, rotate the tray and turn chips halfway through cooking. So gonna bang that in for an hour, gonna bang that in at the hour mark of these, and then 15 minutes later I'm going to flip the chips and turn them around. So we will be going on to trays. This is my real lunch. Am I going to eat a whole half chicken? Hell, done it before, pretty sure I can do it again. Right, Per 100 grams as solid, excluding bone, or per half chicken is solid, excluding bone. Right, energy, 348 kilojoules. Fat, 48.1 grams. Yep, it's a Fat Friday for sure, for sure. Of which saturates 13.6. Carbohydrates, 9.5, of which sugars 8.3, fiber 4.1, protein 88.5. Well, it is chicken, isn't it? It is white meat. Salt 4.2 grams. There is no traffic light signal on this because I'm pretty sure someone in their marketing team realised that if they put a traffic light signal on the front of this, most people will look at it and just go, yeah, I like being alive. But not me, because it is Fat Friday and I didn't eat anything all day yesterday. Seriously, true story. Anyway, as always, I do this series of videos in real time, so we'll take both these bad boys downstairs. I'm going to have to open this up and put it on a tray in advance so we can get a look at, well, no, smell of what it looks like. What it smells like, I should say, all over the shop, and including these. So yeah, hopefully my oven's preheated. I'm going to do it. See, it said 180, didn't it? I'm going to do them both at 180 because, let's be honest, if the chips should be done at 200, I do them at 180. Potatoes can't kill you. Actually, that's not true. Potatoes can kill you. Look how many soldiers died in World War One. French soldiers died in World War One from eating potatoes. That's all I'm going to give you. That's your homework experiment or assignment, I should say, for the week. But in this case, they can. But undercooking that would make me very sick. So fuck it. 180 degrees Celsius. Hour, they go in. Then 15 minutes later, they get turned. They get flipped. This stays carcass side down. And yeah, all should be good. Right, let's go downstairs. Right, so I've got my half chicken, piri piri chicken, out of the box. I forgot to mention upstairs, but I'm pretty sure you saw it, that it's a 2 chili rating. However, Chiquito's range literally goes from 1 chili rating to 3. So this should be, it should be pretty warm, hopefully. It looks incredibly attractive, like that. It really, really does. It does come with what I would like to say is not the most generous amount of sauce I've ever seen. I'll get that out in a moment. Here are my chips. They just smell of chips, to be perfectly honest, but look at them. Honestly, they weren't kidding when they said chunky oven chips. This is what I talk about when I, want big fat ass chips. Anyway, I'm going to put you down for a second because I've got to cut that and get that out because we want to see what that smells like, and hopefully that's going to give us some indication of how hot it is. Though, however, before that, welcome to Eddie's Bar. I have a new addition for Eddie's Bar. I bought it this morning from Morrison's, so I have not tried it yet. So cannot either confirm either way whether it is tasting delicious or shite. But it is habanero hot chili sauce. And I think it was literally £1 and change because it's their own brand. Anyway, let's get this stillborn looking thing out of the bag. Right, here's the thing. Remember what I said when I was reading the ingredients, or the back of the box of the ingredients? Remember thinking that there is hot stuff in there, and it didn't tell us what was in the sachet. Obviously, that's going to be piri piri sauce. But I didn't think, there sounded like there was a lot of hot ingredients. So bearing in mind that we have, again, extra marinade, the minute I pierced that bag, whew, that smells remarkably strong. And if you look, oh shit, they didn't skimp. You're going back on. Oh, he's gone. Oh, man down. They didn't stimp on some form of marinade, so that's all well and good. I'm kind of a little bit reassured now because honestly, it smells fantastic. It smells of regular piri piri, but it smells really strong, so that bodes well. So even before we get to this, hopefully this is going to be a winner chicken dinner. These I'm going to keep on the tray. I opened them to show you, but obviously I don't want them to, because an hour's a long time, even at room temperature, and it's not particularly warm in here. I don't want them to defrost. So I don't know why you came back on, because you were off just now. We got it on 200. I'm going to put it onto 180. There we go. So this goes in for an hour. Oh, it's so long, because Marge, I want it now. Right. Time this on my phone. Stopwatch, there we go, starts. An hour. I'm going to put back in the freezer. I'm going to leave you on the tray, obviously, because I don't want you to defrost. So basically, I'm just doing that for the sake of, I don't know, wall decoration. Basically, at 1:45, we're going to pull that bad boy out and take a look, and we're going to stick that bad boy in. Obviously, it will be going on the second shelf because the size of the chicken's so huge, I couldn't stick them on the same tray. Which, to be fair, I wouldn't have done it that way anyway, with that much marinade on there. Don't want it to come off and get on the chips, at least until we've tried them. Anyway, so, yeah, see you in a bloody long time. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, because we may as well do this bit now. It doesn't hurt either way, although it pretty much feels defrosted. But yeah, may as well get that done and dusted and out of the way. Ooh, chill your beans, Dave. That could have ended in disaster. Obviously, we forgot to put foil on it. It's literally only been in there for a minute. So, foil. Loosely. Define loosely. Because obviously after an hour stage, we pull this out and then we take the foil off. So presumably that's gonna, already it's only been in there a minute and there's a vapor coming off it. But yeah, so that crispies up the outside. So let's try that again. I never said I was any good at this shit. I never said I was a chef. Right, pretty much on the money. I can confirm, I've said that many, many, many times before in this room at this stage of cooking, but this smells absolutely phenomenal. It smells so nice. It's like, I wouldn't say it's overpowering, an overpowering piri piri, but it does smell very, whew, very nice. It might be a tad overpowering now I've opened the oven door. So let's take that out. We'll put you in now. I'm going to put you on the bottom. I rescued that from the freezer 15 minutes ago because obviously I don't want the metal to be too cold. What's this like? Granted, it's obviously got half an hour to go. Oh, reminds me of various bits of Aliens. Wow. Oh, I took a big chunk of sauce off here, but that's alright, because we got this and it's defrosted. Obviously it doesn't go on yet, but that smells really nice. That smells really, really, really nice. Right. So, we got 15 more minutes. It pretty much looks exactly the same as the other one. The one that was from farm stores, which I'm pretty sure was only £2. And this one is £6. But there you go. So, 1:15. Excuse me. Apparently the smell of piri piri gives me a gaggy throat. Resume. Then we take the chips out, rotate the tray and turn them all over. Right, good, because I'm friggin' starving. And next time I do this next week, yeah, we're gonna get something that doesn't take this long to cook. Let's get the chicken out now. We'll leave the fries in. Fries? No, chips, because I'm English. Until, you know, because we put... Oh, Jesus. Well, ignore the sauce. That was going to happen. Going to plate it up, and then I'm going to put the sauce on. And then we'll wait the 5 minutes. I guess that's so the sauce acclimatizes to the heat from the chicken, because obviously it's going to be, well, lukewarm at the moment. So I'm going to leave the chips in there. Are they all right? Yeah, we'll leave the chips in there for 5 minutes while this stands, but I'm going to put it on the plate first. I'm assuming product, picture, product, picture. That picture is once you put the sauce on. Anyway, let's plate this up. Now that that's off the paper, I have to say that looks pretty fantastic as it is. And it smells pretty fantastic, but, you know, the rules are the rules. It's not as thick as I thought it would be then. That makes sense. So it really is more watery marinade. I'm going to put the lot on though. Strange that you don't have to put it back in the oven. Again, I guess it's just like it, bring it up to the temperature of the chicken. Anyway, bin. It's got to make it a mess to eat, I'll say that. Look away. Right, 5 more minutes. I'm doing this by the book. Oh, there we go. That's That's 5 minutes. It's actually looking pretty good. I'm going to put the chips on a separate plate because I don't want the sauce to go on the chips. It's going to be very messy to eat. First world problems. First world problems. It does look good. Product. Box. Product. Box. Does actually, just a recycling down there, pretty much look like the box. Let's get the chips out. You've had an extra 5 minutes. Be crispy and delicious. Oh, it gets me every time. Ow, 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 ow. An hour and a half. You better be resplendent and fantastic. I say it's got potential. Right, let's get this on there. What's my fire extinguisher of choice? Supermarket lemonade. Is that going to be enough? And hopefully this is going to be absolutely fantastic. It should do after that much bloody time and electricity. That does look pretty fantastic. Now we've got it all in one piece. Alrighty, let's go. That was an eternity of waiting. It smelled so good that it was just absolute torture. I can't remember, Pavlov's dogs, I can't remember how long it took to cook the last one, but that was from Frozen, so it would have been in the same ballpark. The chicken, oh, it smells really, I can smell lemon now. It smells fantastic though. It smelled fantastic when it was cooking. I could smell heat in it. I don't know if it was super, you know, super hot. There's that bit there where the foil took off all the marinade. I know, man down, man down. But yeah, £6 though, you could argue. That's a lot of money. I'm dying. Fire extinguisher of choice is supermarket knockoff lemonade. And here we have the chips. Iceland's luxury Maris Piper chunky chips. Look at them. Oh, man down. They are huge. These are probably the biggest chips I've seen. The outside, really crispy. So let's just get straight into it. 2 tears, I'm drowning. Even by my standards, I'm drowning. 2 tears in a bucket. That's a bit, we'll get another bite. That's a bit disappointing. The Maris Pipers. The last Maris Pipers I had were the Harry Ramsden ones. Harry Ramsden's chip shop chips. They were Maris Piper. I don't know if they had seasoning. I mean, these clearly, I've read the instructions, the ingredients. These clearly had no seasoning. And they're not terrible. They're not as bland, which is amazing when you think about it. They're not as bland as those beef dripping triple cooked chips I got from Iceland, because they were seasoned with beef dripping. They were bland. But these, again, I know these aren't seasoned. These are £2.25. I was expecting something a bit more tasty, like those ones I had the other week, whose name completely escapes from me. But it was the ones I had with, I can't remember. What was the name of them? It's gone. But you know the ones I mean. They came in the yellow bag, and they were recommended. They were lovely. These are just plain. I'm filling up on plain chips here, Dave. You need to save some space. Well, I'm starving. For the chicken. They're not the worst chip I've ever had. They're better than those triple cooked beef dripping ones, as I just said, from Lidl. But I was expecting more. These are your luxury chips. Iceland, these are your luxury chips. I was expecting more. These are certainly, and again, it's not fair to compare them directly to most of the other stuff I've done when it comes to chips and these. Oh yeah, sorry, this was a combiner war, because these aren't seasoned, but we'll give you one more go. Plain. I mean, they're crispy on the outside. They're really nice and fluffy on the inside. there's just no taste. And you can say that, well, isn't that a plain chip? I mean, I'm going to season the crap out of this with salt and vinegar after this. Maybe a little hot sauce. But I've had plenty of chips that aren't seasoned. Especially like those Harry Ramsden's ones I just mentioned. And they were phenomenal. Anyway, let's get into what is obviously going to be the highlight of this Fat Friday. And before we start, I don't know why I'm doing this, because these don't taste of anything. But rules are rules. Palate cleanse. Right, this is my genuine, excuse me, lunch. How to cut into it. That's come away quite, oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, that smells fantastic. I'm going to be a pig. Excuse me, we have a chunk of skin on it, as you can see, but 2 tears in a bucket. Ooh, that's phenomenal. And here comes the heat. It's non-nuclear. We've only had one. Ooh, right. Immediately, I'm going to get a chunk of skin. Immediately, there was a huge burst of citrus and lemon, which makes sense because it was such high up in the ingredients of the marinade on the chicken before we put the marinade of the sauce on there, which I don't think it gave me a list of ingredients of what was in it. However, that's quite warm. It's not unbearable. Little sniffle. Definite got, you know, the back of my throat going. The chicken is really lean, really, really succulent and really nice. I would cocoa for £6. The outside of the skin, crispy, fantastic. This is amazing. This is warmer than I thought it would be, based on, you know, the habanero wings. The marinade itself, oh, is phenomenal. Big hit of heat then. I would say, if it wasn't for the fact that it was £6, oh, that's warm. Back of the throat, all down the sides of my mouth, back of my lips. Little creep on the chest. Yeah, if it wasn't for that, it was £6. But I don't know how much it cost to make these things, or how much it would cost for the same meal in their restaurant. I would thoroughly, thoroughly recommend this. I recommend it anyway, but £6 is a lot of money. I'm going to try the chip with a bit of the, excuse me, Windy Pops. Wouldn't be a Fat Friday without a bit of Windy Pops. My nose is gone. Yeah, some of the marinade on. See, that's alright. Now they're alright. They obviously need some form of external, you know, seasoning. Listen to that. But that was a lot of sauce I put on that, and there's a burn going on here. There's a definite burn. I wished I saved a bit of the chicken, you know, skin. Well, you wouldn't have been able to do it though, would you? Well, I didn't pour the marinade on, and we could try it like it would have been without that, because we don't know, you know, back of the lips, what it would have tasted like with just that. Hang on, palate cleanse. But I'm very, taste-wise, not value-wise, I'm very, very, yeah, look at this, impressed with this. This tastes fantastic. It is very citrusy, but the minute that dissipates, you get that nice piri-piri taste. It helps if you have piri-piri. And then you get a lash of heat. It's really, really nice. I really do recommend it. I know that citrus and lemon is part of the sauce, but I would have, you know, liked to know what it would taste like without that. But let's give the drumstick a go. Oh, yeah. Those is gone. This is hot. This is so much better than the farm stores one. But then you would, I guess, with a brand like Chiquito, you would expect that. This is phenomenal. This is amazing. Back of the throat. Every time you take a bite, you get an additional lash of heat. Very nice. Excuse me. It wouldn't be a Fat Friday if I wasn't filthy. Let's get a big chunk of skin there. Ooh, man down. This is making me a messy motherfucker. I am aware of that. This is up there as one of my best Fat Fridays. This is phenomenal. These, the size of that beast. Excuse me. These may have been a massive letdown and a weakness, but this chicken is to die for. Honestly, I will, £6, I will have it again. The sauce. I'm guessing it's a combination of both, what was on the chicken and what was in the sachet, but the sauce is fantastic. Honestly, it's fantastic. I've had hotter. There is a burn, I can feel this, I am aware of it. It's not curry hot as I like to say every week. I've had hotter, but it's got the perfect balance of heat, and it is warm, and taste, and it is fantastic. So, excuse me, this sauce is just amazing. To sum up, Iceland's Maris Piper, luxury Maris Piper chunky chips, disappointing. I mean, they'll be fine once you put, well, they were fine once I put sauce on. My lips are fucking on fire now. And, you know, and they'll be fine with salt and vinegar, but I've tried chips in this series out of the bag, and they're just too plain for my liking. But then they're £2.25, so, The Chiquito Piri Piri half chicken is honestly, this, look at it, it's just resplendent in its glory. It is one of the highlights of this series. It's a little expensive, £6, well, it's very expensive, £6. But like I said at the start of this video, lips are definitely on fire. This has got some heat actually. At the start of this video, you could probably buy a whole seasoned chicken for that in a supermarket, but you're paying for a branded name. I get that, but if you're going to try something, even if it's expensive, try it once. I would say try it once, and I guarantee you will like this. It is absolutely fantastic. One of the best things I've had in this series of videos. I'm dying in Windy Pops Town now. Cannot recommend it highly enough. So as always, I'd love to know what you think, especially if you've tried these chips. More so interested in that. As well as this chicken, or do they do this chicken in their actual restaurant, and have you had it there? Or have you had the Iceland, or have you had both, and how do they compare? And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.